So, Prasidha, welcome back. And today we are going to discuss about your brand which you have launched. So, in the last segment, we spoke all about your journey so far, and 2020 has definitely been a milestone in your career,
Yeah.
right? So, tell us what is the meaning of Karmane? How was it born?
So a little backstory about my career journey in the fashion industry so far. So as compared to a lot of my peers, it was very short. I kind of was working for a company in Bangalore. I left that job because of certain, personal reasons. I left it back in November 2019, and I decided to take like a 3 month sabbatical, just to kind of improve my health and both mental and physical. So I decided to take that break, but I'm not a person who's used to like just sitting at home and not doing anything. So I, started drawing mandalas, which again I've been doing for almost 8 years
Oh,
now. So I really
okay.
enjoy drawing mandalas, and I think that whole sense of symmetry gives me a lot of, sense of calm and, relaxation. So I kind of started drawing them, and I started drawing them quite often. Like every day I used to make two. And then I just decided, like, why don't I get those framed and try to sell them online? So that
Oh,
was like the original idea. That was the
that's
original thing that I was working on. But then I realized that maybe not everybody is into interior design or, buying,
okay.
frames or putting it up. So I wanted to kind of convert it into a wearable form of art, and something that I think everybody would want to own, a smaller version of it, that um, and mandalas in general are like kind of a symbol of positivity. It's kind of a
Okay,
symbol
yes.
of sending positive vibes out there into the universe, and it's like a Buddhist emblem for positive. So, and the thing about mandalas is that it's different for everybody. So there's so many mandala artists out there, and everybody have has their own unique style of making it. So it's something that has to come from within, I think. And I realized that I have a certain love for it. I have a certain uh, you know uh, I was kind of obsessed with it, to be very honest, and I used to kind of do it all
Okay.
the time. So I don't exactly remember the moment where I decided, okay, you know what, I want to start a brand or make earrings. But the idea was to just make it a wearable form of art,
Okay.
something that you can wear every single day. Or I think it came from a feeling where I wanted people to own something that I create, and have it with them for a very long time. So
Wow.
that's how,
Nice.
and I think we kind of brainstormed a lot about the names, and finally we ended upon Karmane, which is actually a Tibetan term. So it is of Buddhist origin again. And it seemed apt, it kind of went with the whole theme of what my brand is all about.
Wow, nice. So, what would you say is like the differentiating factor between some other brand out there and what Karmane stands for? What would a potential customer notice about Karmane?
I think, firstly, the fact that it is all of it is handmade, and
Okay.
every element that I put into it is either hand painted, or I source the raw materials. Obviously that's not it's also in a way handmade, because somebody has to actually cut the wood for me
Wow.
and give it to me. So that's also in a way handmade. And I think India is amazing when it comes to handicrafts and handmade items, whether it's jewelry, whether it's bags, shoes. I think it's a forgotten art. I think, and only me, like when I started this brand, did I come to know that there are so many out there who are doing, handmade jewelry, are doing, kind of, whether it's even hand stitched garments, people
Yeah.
are, and the main thing that I want to promote is slow fashion. I think today there's like so many brands coming out with new styles every month, and the fashion industry is known for, wastage. It's known for polluting the environment so much that we are actually, I think, the second most polluting industry in
Oh
the
my God.
entire world. So, I mean, there's no, even if you're talking about big brands like Dior, Chanel, and, if you follow their pages on Instagram or you follow the kind of work they do, you will see everything is handmade. Every element is stitched, every element is molded by hand. And, that's how it all began, before there was machinery, before there was mass manufacturing. It all began when people started using their hands and making art. And I think I kind of want to promote that more, and not having to explain why it is priced the way it is. Or, like if I'm buying a a pair of Levi's jeans for 5,000 rupees, and Levi's does not have to explain to me why it's 5,000. You just kind of trust the brand. You just kind of
Correct.
know, okay, brand itna bada hai, so it makes sense that they are selling a pair of jeans for 5,000.
Right.
So I want to remove that whole stigma where, if something is handmade, and if something is, made by a small business or is made by one individual, that whole um thing in India, everybody's bargaining. But I think as a customer, you should know who to bargain with and who not to bargain with. And the customer is not always right. That you will realize only when you run a business of your own.
And you're on the other end.
You're on the other end, yes. And you also kind of learn how to behave as a customer. When you go into the world and you're shopping for yourself or you're shopping from another brand, uh, you know how you should behave as a customer, what are the ethics or, that you should follow as well. So,
Right.
in short, I think Karmane is, slowly moving towards sustainability. We're trying to, I'm coming up with certain ideas where I'm going to try to reduce wastage, maybe, upcycling. That's an idea that I've been, kind of holding on to, that I want to execute. Because I think I want to take something from your closet and just, revamp it into something new with something you already have,
Transform it with a look.
transform it into a new thing entirely, so that
Yeah.
because there's a lot of, I think, pieces of jewelry, for example, in our closet, which have just been there. You don't want to throw it away, but you're bored of using it. So you might as well just revamp it a little bit, add an extra colorful element to it, and change it up. So there are a few ideas that we're working on.
Nice. So, as somebody who has recently launched her own brand, what can you tell the viewers about what all aspects are there about, having your own brand? Because it sounds like a very glamorous thing to have your own brand, but since you are almost solely managing end-to-end operations, what all goes into having done this?
So for Karmane, I'm like a one woman army who handles everything from, sourcing the raw material to creating the product, coming up with ideas for new products, kind of taking customer feedback, acting on that, trying to, everything from packaging to logistics to trying to grow as a sustainable brand, trying to be
Marketing.
more marketing, of course, huge part of it. Running all the social media handles, it becomes a little too much. But I think I've always been somebody who likes to stay busy, so for me it works. And but I think if there's any, on people there who are aspiring entrepreneurs, then I would say that use the first 6 months to kind of set the foundation for your brand. So, whether it's, starting your own Instagram page, keep that running, or starting your own website, whether you're thinking about doing international shipping or just, domestic shipping. So these are things that, as a brand, you have to kind of figure out in the initial stages before, the inflow of orders are really high.
Correct.
so that, because once that happens, if you're still a one woman army or a one person army, then all of your time is going to be taken up by fulfilling orders. Uh,
Absolutely. It will be
because that's
difficult
a
to scale
very
up.
time consuming process. So obviously, and you have to, uh, even though you're slow, slow fashion brand, the idea of slow fashion is to put out a limited number of products into the market, is to not, just kind of rush the market with, products every month or every,
Okay.
3 months, like the normal industry works. So, uh, the thing is, you have to then come up, you have to, if you have a vision for the future, for example, if I envision my future or the brand's future, I see that, there's a lot of, say, if I have a lot of orders, coming in, and me as one person has to fulfill all the orders, I have to figure out a way to mass produce. And when I say mass produce, it's obviously
Correct.
not like
Correct.
1,000 orders. It's not, I'm not talking about 1,000 people,
Yeah.
not
So
like
at
industry.
present, you are yourself making every single order.
Yes, I do everything. So I, make each and every order. So right now I work on a made to order system because I
Okay.
don't want to increase my inventory too much because I work from home. So,
Right.
I don't have like a warehouse or, a separate room where I can store all of my products. So
Right.
it's a made to order system so that I just have my prototype with me, which I've created, which I market first, and then I have the product. And once people like the prototype, they see the prototype, if they like it, I make it for them once they order it. And secondly, where was I? Yeah, made to order system. And so in the future, when I envision like my brand and I see that, okay, if I'm getting even 50 or 60 orders a month, which is a big number if you're just one person working,
Right.
so 50 or 60 orders, I will have to find a way to work fast. Also, because this is very intricate work. This is, it takes me at least 3 hours to make one piece, one entire,
One pair of earrings,
one pair of earrings. Yes.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the minimum. It depends on the intricacy of the work. If there's like a lot of
Yes.
thread work or bead work or, a lot of in the mandala design, if there's a lot of, intricate work. So it totally depends on all that, but minimum 3 hours it does take me because the product has to dry and, so I take 3 days, for example, to finish one pair of earrings. So that's why it's a made to order system.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to put it out to my customers that if you're ordering, then if you're ordering from any handmade brand, do order well in advance, because you need to
Correct.
understand that first of all, a lot of brands do bulk shipping. So it's good if you order it in advance and not complain about delayed shipping, because a lot of the time we have to go and drop the products at the shipping company, or the logistics partner basically,
Right. Right.
and they ship all of them together. So it's a lot of work. Then obviously there's the legalities of registering your company and getting a GST number so that you become a legal company and you pay taxes. So there's all of that aspect of it as well, which you will have to slowly get into. Again, try to do it in like the first 6 months and give yourself ample amount of time. Don't rush
Absolutely.
it,
Yeah.
because these are things that once the foundation is set, you're set. Then you
Correct.
just have to
Absolutely.
kind of keep the operations running.
Absolutely. So that was very interesting. What do you think? What are your aspirations for Karmane later on as it grows? What is your vision? You have just started, but where do you intend to take it to?
So I dream very big. I think I'm very guilty of that. I dream very big, but then I think that's how it
It's
should be.
nice.
Because if you think ki, acha, okay, tomorrow it's going to be 100 crore company, then maybe it will become a 1 crore company.
Huh.
So that's how I work. So I um one thing I would say, if when you're starting your own brand, and if that wasn't your plan all along, then you have to be very confident about your decision, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to rebuttal your decision, a lot of people who are going to doubt it, who are going to question you about it. And you need to remember that you're now your own lawyer too, because you have to fight for yourself. You kind of have to have take your stand. And
Self-appointed
yeah,
advocate for your own brand.
exactly. So you kind of have to be strong, you have to be confident that you have taken this decision, and you need to have complete 100% faith in your product or service or whatever you're providing.
Right.
So for me, my aspirations are huge. I want to first of all be a company that, for me, I learned it from my own life experience. I would say that a lot of the time the most talented or the most skilled people also do not be able to find jobs, maybe because they have certain presentation skill issues with presentation skills, or there's some sort of an issue. And I see myself as, I don't want to no longer want to see myself as somebody who's seeking employment, but I want to see someone who's giving employment, to
You're
tons of people.
creating the employment,
Yeah,
you're
I want to create
empowering others.
employment. Yes. So I think it comes from a personal place, because I think it was so hard for me to find a job. And I know that I have what it takes to be in the industry. I know I have what it takes to, do very well at a job. Um, but, sometimes things don't work out the way you want. But
Yes.
tomorrow I want to be, if I'm interviewing a person, I want to see what their skills are. I want to see, maybe they don't have communication skills, but maybe they do
Okay.
have other skills that I could really work with, or
Use.
that could be useful for the brand.
Right.
So I kind of want to be a company that grows into something like that. uh, Also, I want to definitely uplift the handicrafts or handmade industry of India, because there's so many rural villages in India. There's so many rural artisans that don't get the kind of exposure because they're not in the city, or they don't have access to
Yes.
technology, or all of that. So I see Karmane kind of branching out into that as well,
Wow.
where we kind of help those rural artisans, kind of create a platform for them. It's already there. A lot of I think upcoming brands are already doing that, uh, but
Okay.
that's solely what they are doing. So that's a very good initiative, and maybe I do my little bit of market research and kind of understand what areas have not been tapped, and then kind of get into that. So that's like a very far off into the future kind of a vision.
That's
But
nice. And do you plan to introduce some more products? Like currently you've started with jewelry. So is there something
yeah,
you might branch into?
so I think I want to kind of definitely go into the garment sector as well.
Okay.
So I think I'm very inspired by how, I mean, I think in Sabyasachi. So Sabyasachi, obviously, he started with the garment line first. So he had his own, wedding collection. And I remember him. I think he had an interview with Deepika Padukone or something, and she was
Oh,
like, the only reason he started his own jewelry, like kind of brand or jewelry line, was to complement his own clothes. Because he wasn't happy
okay.
with how other brands were making
Okay.
jewelry, and he thought it didn't really go with what he was
Okay.
creating. So tomorrow, if I'm gonna like start a clothing line, I want it to be complementary to the jewelry I'm making today.
Wow, that's
And
nice.
yeah, so it'll be like something maybe you can buy a piece of clothing. And so the whole idea behind Karmane is that everybody can own a piece, because I don't think there's one person who does not have basics in their closet. So
Right.
because Karmani is such a statement piece, it is such a, it has a lot of print, a lot of color. So it's something that, if you're even wearing, like for example, I'm wearing a white shirt today,
Yeah.
but instantly when I add this piece, it kind of,
Yeah.
just amps up the outfit a little bit. So take your
Absolutely.
basics, and which I think everybody owns. even if you have just a white t-shirt and blue jeans, and you add a piece of Karmane to it, I believe that that makes your outfit, and it'll definitely make you stand out. And I've got that as a customer feedback again and again, that people
Wow.
definitely compliment them if they see something that's different. And I don't think I've seen anything like this in the market. uh, so,
No, I haven't either.
so that's good. So yeah, so that's like kind of what my vision is in terms of, because I have like that, that um, in me to kind of go a little bit into styling as well. So
Okay.
the future posts, like right now I'm little um, taking a rest on product development, and I'm going more into marketing and kind of helping my followers or customers understand how to really style the products, because I think sometimes
Okay.
it can be a little difficult for people to vision with their own closet on how to, maybe, okay, if I buy this piece, what will I wear it with?
Wow, so
So
as a add-on, apart from your jewelry, you would get some tips also with
yes.
what they
So I've
can wear.
already started doing that a little on my page, but it's only been through stories. But now I'm, also going to start posting videos and, outfit posts, so that, and honestly, like, it'll always obviously include my personal style, which
Okay.
90% of my closet is basics. So
Okay.
I mix and match a lot of basics and, make it into a statement outfit. So for me, I think Karmane works, and I know that a lot of you out there have basics in your closet. So it's kind of just that, little kind of, my whole, what do you say, motto behind it is to make a statement with Karmane. Because if
Oh,
you,
nice.
yeah, so if you're wearing something, really plain, and you're like, Meko, and the additional thing is that it's extremely lightweight. So that, I've heard a lot of friends tell me that, we want to wear those big jhumkas, or we want to wear those
Yeah,
big
but they can
earrings,
be really heavy
can be really
sometimes.
heavy, and everybody's earlobe capacity is different. So this
Correct.
is extremely lightweight. It's made from like very lightweight wood, and so there's no plastic element. It's either, it's wood and metal, basically.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's how the entire piece is created, and it's hand painted. So I even have, so like I was saying that we try to be a sustainable brand. So we give, even though we give plastic boxes in our this, it's because you can store your jewelry in that. It's not something
Right.
you have to
Okay.
throw away the minute you've removed your product. So
Okay.
we have certain ideas of how to use leftover paint. So I'm
Okay.
working on a lot of things, because
Wow.
paint is toxic, and you don't want it to go into the water drainage system, uh,
Right.
because eventually it affects the environment. So
Right.
trying to work around that a bit, trying to whatever wastage we create while making the product, trying to reuse that. So that's also a side of the product development that I'm working on. So using technology to kind of protect the environment.
Wow, that's amazing. You're taking a lot of care in growing your brand and making it environment friendly. And I think all the viewers should watch out for this brand. It might soon become the next thing. So it's really sounding very interesting and wish you all the best for your
Thank you
endeavors.
so much.
And thank you for sharing all of this. I'm sure it'll help a lot of people who are trying to, considering these sort of,
I
uh,
really hope it does. And I think if I had one last thing to say to anybody who's watching this video, is
yeah,
that do not be afraid to take risks, because I think, sometimes the risk can turn into a mistake, but sometimes it could be like the best decision you've ever made. And
absolutely.
but if it becomes a mistake, if it doesn't go the right way, then always take it as a learning. uh, Never be afraid of struggles, because struggles is what shapes you as a person. um, and you need that. Every person needs that struggle element in their life. If everything happens too easily, then it kind of becomes mundane. So and if you have an idea that you think, that people will appreciate, that you can, in the future, uh, if it can give employment to at least 100 people in the future,
Yes.
then you should definitely act on it. uh, Today you're one, tomorrow you'll be 100. So it's a very slow process. Do not give up. And yeah, I just hope that we have a bunch of entrepreneurs in our generation and in the coming generation, because I think I would like
Absolutely. I
India.
couldn't agree more.
I would also like India to rise as a country of entrepreneurs, because I think we have the potential. So yeah,
Wow, awesome. So that's wonderful. All the viewers, this is her message to all of you. And all the best. Thank you for being here.
thank you, Neha, so much for taking my interview. Yeah,
Anytime.
okay, yeah, bye.
Bye.